quite love Kamala Harris. I think I've made that clear from now. And we thought that the worst thing that was going to happen to her this week was when her teleprompter failed and she couldn't ad-lib.
And did you all see Magic Johnson? Remember his number? 32. Today we got 32 days until the election. So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. We got some business to do. All right. 32 days.
Well, it got worse. She was interviewed on 60 Minutes in the United States, and it's the toughest interview that she's got. And I've got to say well done to the reporter who did it. Not perfect, but hey, this is the best we're going to get. He followed up. He asked her a tough question, he followed it up, and he called BS on her. For example, all of the ideas that she has. How are you going to pay for it?
My plan is about saying that when you invest in small businesses, you invest in the middle class, and you strengthen America's economy. Small businesses are part of the backbone of America's economy.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Hey.
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes. It is not right that teachers and nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate than billionaires and the biggest corporations. And I plan on making that fair.
But we're dealing with the real world here.
But the real world includes...
How are you going to get this through Congress?
You know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress, they know exactly what I'm talking about because their constituents know exactly what I'm talking about.
Blah, garbage. And again, the reporter was great because, again, in all the interviews that she's done, there's sort of a question about, look, you've changed your mind a lot from the time you ran for president, for when you were vice president. Now all of those positions we know you definitely lose on. So you've put out all these statements that you've changed your mind on this issue and that issue. But this is the best version of that question that he's thrown at her.
Let me tell you what your critics and the columnists say.
Okay.
They say that the reason so many voters don't know you is that you have changed your position on so many things. You were against fracking, now you're for it. You supported looser immigration policies, now you're tightening them up. You were for Medicare for all, now you're not. So many that people don't truly know what you believe or what you stand for.
Middle
and
stump,
I know you've heard
well
that.
In the last 4 years, I have been Vice President of the United States, and I have been traveling our country, and I have been listening to folks and seeking what is possible in terms of common ground. I believe in building consensus.
Do you?
We are a diverse people, geographically, regionally, in terms of where we are in our backgrounds. And
by the way, that
what
was 60
the
Minutes
American
edit,
people do want is that we have leaders who can build consensus, where we can figure out compromise
but why do you
and understand it's not a
believe
bad
the opposite
thing,
of what you
as long as you
believed
don't
before?
compromise your values to find common sense solutions. And that has been my approach.
And then finally on the issue of immigration, where the reality is millions of people have been able to, as a result of the policies of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, border czar, whether she wants to admit it or not, they have entered the country illegally. Now again, migration, fantastic. Illegal migration, not great. This reporter, the best question, hits her right between the eyes.
There was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled.
Correct.
From the last year of President Trump. Was it a mistake?
Good.
To loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
It's a long-standing problem. And solutions are at hand. And from day one, literally,
you signed executive orders undoing all of the Trump stuff.
What I was asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting a problem. okay?
But the numbers did quadruple.
And the
under
numbers
your
today,
watch.
because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration
Millions.
by half.
But should you
We
have
have
done
cut
that-
the
should you
flow
have
of
done that-
fentanyl by half, but we need Congress to be able
Oh, it's Congress.
to actually fix the problem.
You have accused Donald Trump of using racist tropes when it comes to Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah, well, surprise, surprise. Well done, reporter, spectacular. Her performance, terrible. You can see the frightened behind her eyes, which is why the interview she's doing in the next 24 hours, Howard Stern, who has said that he hates Trump supporters, not just Trump, and Stephen Colbert, who, of course, had people dress up like the vaccine. So we get the cuddles that she's going to get. But at least a serious interview, and surprise, surprise, the mental Jenga that she's playing, the tower fell down.